All right, good afternoon, everybody. I thought that that song is very fitting for today. Bittersweet Sympathy, Symphony. And here's the thing is like we came right into resistance and right down, and today has just been a one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, three steps back is kind of that whole entire theme for this entire week. And maybe a little bit of last week as well. But let's go ahead and just go over what I'm seeing in the future. So ESF and just kind of talk through it and kind of go over and catch up from what we talked about this morning. So again, watching the 4 hour 9 EMA. All right. And so if we look at the notes, I haven't changed these notes or anything. The bulls, what we're looking for is can we hold 34.71? And like I said this morning, what I'd really like to see is if we can actually hold it on at least a 4 hour candle. So that means that this 4 hour candle needs to move up very nicely and hold. And then it needs to come back and retest this level, and then it needs to push. Unfortunately, there's all sorts of resistance in here, even on a push up, so it's not an easy move up. All right. So taking the stairs to the upside, and as they say, possibly elevator to the downside, right? So we just want to be cautious. So coming into this morning, it was all about scalps for me. All right, all about scalps. And so I was trading equity for the most part. I tried a couple hands here at Apple, did very good on the equity trades to the upside, made a couple bucks off of that, and then I financed some options. I just closed the options for a loss, but overall was a green trade for the day. That's kind of how I want to approach uh, today, possibly tomorrow, until we get some follow through. Follow through doesn't look like this. Okay, nice little base, nice push. A follow through. What I'd be looking for tomorrow again is if we can open up here on the morning session, pull back, then make higher highs. Then we'll be looking for that follow through, possibly up here into the trendy edge. All right. So far, from a bull perspective and from a 4 hour perspective, we are holding the 9 EMA. All right. So that's a good thing. We came back just a few minutes ago and pushed right down into here. And then sure enough, bids did come in right around that EMA. Now, I did take a couple MES trades this morning, and I just want to kind of show you my best one. So if we come over here into the 5 minute, so I have different scripts that I run on here, and some of them are specifically for scalping. And I call this the PMZ. And what you're going to see once this thing loads up here is the PMZ was confluent with a trendy edge. And see this yellow line. Let's move over here. Sorry, I think our swim's just acting a little wonky this morning. So this right here, all right, and the room can verify this, our members can verify this. Right before this, I pushed out, I said, look, big level, looking to take this. And soon as price was just hanging in here into the PMZ, they came out with some sort of news about Pelosi or something, saying something. It doesn't matter. The risk here was from here to here. Stops were under here, and I took this trade to the upside. 10 points within seconds, minutes. I mean, it was an awesome trade. And then here you can see we just came short. We had some of the members making fun of me. They said they were mad at me because my exact target didn't get hit. Of course, they were just joking. But let's talk about what resistance means really quick. All right. So when we come into whether you want to call it a red box resistance, supply, I call it a trendy edge. You could call it a pivot. What happens is we want to come up and test these levels. And then typically it takes about 2 to 3 times before we can break them. It's like anything else that you do in life. It's not easy at first, just like trading is not. You have to fail a couple times before you can break through to the other side. All right. So in this case, resistance is above us. And in order for us to get over this, we're going to have to test it a couple times. What we want to do during this phase is just measure this and see if we can at least hold 61.8% of that. No reason to throw a fib on there. You can see that we're holding above 61.8% of that. And on a shorter time frame, everything looks fine for now. All right. Once we get into there, again, what I'm looking for, possible move in a 34.95 around that 3,500 level, big psychological level. And if for some reason we break down, Okay, be looking for the line in the sand here, and this will change overnight. I'll update with the new blueprint. All right, this will change overnight. It would be nice if for some reason the line in the sand becomes the trendy edge. All right, be really nice. All right, let's go ahead and show a couple other things here. We're going to look at Apple. All right, and just kind of go over my trade and what I did here, and maybe if it's somewhere into your strategy or your process as well. All right, so let's go back to what I showed this morning, and I apologize that this is running slow. All right, there we go. All right, so on a smaller time frame, so the daily, it didn't quite come down into this oval here. Once it regained a little strength here, I went ahead and took equity in here, stops below, push stop, I added above the 117.12 area, and then I got out of equity here. And again, like I said, I went ahead and financed some options. Those options didn't work out. Now, one thing that we do have building on the day, okay, and so what I was doing is getting out of those options quite quickly. I think I lost 20% on that. So right here, we have an inside day forming. This could be a bullish reversal. What we want to see tomorrow, again, with the ES, if it gaps up, see if we can take this out above the daily 9 EMA, and then we'll be pushing up very nicely into the 121.10 area where we do have a little bit of resistance here. Okay. Again, a lot of the range across the board, everything I'm looking at is really tight right now. So for me, it's just scalp mode, smaller position size, wider stops. Okay. All right. So that's Apple. I do have some Facebook as well that I came into. Let me just make sure I had this from earlier in the week or last week. Give me 1 second. Yeah, there we go. All right. And so these expire in about 10 days or so. Let's go ahead and go over that really fast. And they're having a decent day. I mean, after yesterday's pullback, nothing's really that impressive, to be honest with you, today. So, all right. So here's Facebook. Needs to hold. You can see this is our blueprint as well. It did hold. It's holding at 262.75. The next move here, I'd like to see it get above this pivot at 271 and a quarter. If we get 271 and a quarter, I do expect it to pull back there, probably a couple bucks, and then right back around and see if we can test that for the second time. So let me just go ahead and show you. So this right here is resistance. If for some reason we pull up into here, we have that little double top into the resistance, that'd be the second time testing. And if we pull back here, once we break for the third time, that's where we'll get that nicer move to the upside and possibly into 278. What I would like to see, we'll see what Netflix, if it has any kind of impact on earnings, or sorry, the market. Like to see this double top here, a pullback, and a cup and handle into this area up here. All right. And let's go ahead and move down here, looking at a few different things going on. Let's see if there's anything else I want to cover. Here we go. So here's a team equity trade that I took. I was looking for a breakout, and I just want to show you, just really quick, show you what these alerts look like. And give me 1 second. So we're going to pull this down right here. You're going to see right there. I'm going to go ahead and close my team. So I'm pulling up my create closing order. It needs to load first. And there it is. And I'm going to sell right now. And you should see that pop up here shortly. And there it is right there. Happens so quick you can hardly see it come in, right? So smaller trades today, unfortunately, lost a little bit there. And then I was also looking for a breakout into SNOW. And that doesn't look like it's happening either. Market is pulling back here. And again, these are small. This is like a $50 loss here. And you're going to see that pop up right there. I mean, it's that quick, so you can see kind of what's going on. what I'm trading when I'm getting out and so forth. So unfortunately, just adding to that list of couple losers here looking for, some sort of follow through, but not getting it, um, unfortunately. So I think everybody's kind of looking for the some follow through as well. Like I've been telling everybody, I'm human. I lose as well. I do have an awesome strategy right now in this cycle. It's really important to, like I said, go smaller, but also recognize, if your strategy is not working during the cycle, you wouldn't be the only one. All right. There's a lot of people it's not working out. When I say working out, I mean like every trade you're pulling out, you're having a difficult time. Maybe 50, 40% of those are hitting. And then when they are hitting, I feel like people are actually trying to hold on because they want to make up for the loss that they were getting into before that. And so it's a really difficult market. And so coming into the morning, I think it's very imperative that we have some sort of allocation rules saying, hey, we're going to be smaller today. My stops are going to be wider. I've already accepted the loss. And when you accept that loss, it makes it a lot easier to execute the trade. Okay. Now, I will tell you, it does have, some wearing on the mind as well. Again, if we could just see some trend, I think this would make things a lot better for a lot of traders. And when looking back, as I explained this morning, this looks like you would just go short. But there are plenty of these mornings where these actually gapped up. So it did not make trading easy. Okay, so don't let anybody fool you. Okay, unless you just automatically went short in the money here and you paid up for a couple weeks and you come back, you went on vacation, you went fishing, and you come back today, sure, you did well. If you're being active in your day trading and so forth, this is definitely some difficult tape for a lot of traders. Okay. So please, this is a time to be humble, be nice to people. A lot of times when you're losing money, traders get negative and they try to find reasons why they're not winning. It's okay across the board. I have many, many friends in the market, and I could tell you, I would say, I would say most of those friends are not doing well. All right. So just hang on, hang in there. All right. Something's about to come. We are looking at 6 days down, possibly, if we do close down here. And again, a lot of times I like to tell people, let's look at just some pattern recognition here. All right. And we can go back and we can count the days. All right. And let's just go back here. All right. These are daily candles. And we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. And if we just go back, we have consecutive 1, 2, 3, 4, one little pop, and then down. And then we got 1, 2, 3 days here. And you can see it takes it's going to be a long time. I believe it was right here during that big fall that we had right around February. This was the last time that we had this many consecutive days down. Okay. So again, not easy, not easy. All right. Just like people tell you this was easy to short, I'm here to tell you it wasn't because we gapped down so much that you felt like you were chasing, you know? And if you feel like you're chasing, you hesitate and then you miss something. It happens. All right. All right. So is the end near? I guess is what you could be asking yourself. And again, I found a very uh, interesting setup on a 2 day, and I don't usually do that. And I was sharing with the room yesterday. If we go over here and go to 2 day, and for my supply and demand traders, you'll know what I'm looking at here as I pull this up. So let's give it a second here to load. And honestly, this is the best chart that I see, if the market continues down, where we could end up bouncing. Okay, and that's right around this area here. I see this nice push out of these inside candles here. This is where I'd expect, somewhere in here, 33.71 all the way down to 33.53. I'm not saying it's going to happen. What I'm saying, for some reason, if it continues down, this is definitely an area of interest for me. Okay. So I hope that kind of helps. Good luck to everybody out there. Like I said, it's been on and off. It's not been very consistent. And, stick with your process. And if anything, just refine that process and do the best you can. All right. You guys have a good one. We'll see you in the